Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Zoltabolt back with another video. I'm bringing you guys something new this time. We're breaking down a very stressful raid on Woods, where we're going to be talking about effectiveness in combat and healing and looting as a team. Unfortunately, we will be taken out all the way down to the two of us in the raid, but I'd like to bring this specific raid as an example. So I hope you guys like this type of content. If you do, please comment down below. And I would like to thank you guys all who has subscribed to the channel. We're very close to be hitting that 100 subscriber as our first milestone, and I really appreciate the support from all of you. So please, if you guys like this video, hit that like button, turn on the notifications, and hit the subscribe button, and let's jump into the video. So as we spawn in, the first point as a team you want to look at is obviously you have to keep in mind what quests or objectives you are doing as a team. This is obviously preferably needs some planning before you go into a raid, because it will determine what kind of armor you're wearing, what kind of weapon you're bringing in, what other additional specialized items you need, if you need to mark things, if you need to place cameras, if you need to place specific items, etc. Besides that, so when you have all that planning ahead, we'll talk about that in a bit, you want to make sure you can exactly know where you are on the map, especially as a team, because for example in this raid we're coming in as a 4-man team. We are large target, there's a lot of movement between the 4 of us, so it's very easy to spot. The first thing you want to do is obviously find cover and a route to where your objective is on the map. So in this example, we actually spawn just south of the village, on the east side of the village, very close to a rock here, and our objective is actually to get to the introduction quest to bring the ladder. I think 1 or 2 of us on the squad needs to grab the ladder and visit that spot near the broken plane. So my thinking as squad leader is to take the path that is involving the least amount of risk, involving all the different PMC spawns around us, knowing potentially where can other teams or players be besides AI spawns. And in order to do that, what I process or what I think about in my head is what would be the fastest way with some cover to get to that location. There's one thing you really wanted to focus on is as a 4-man team, especially when you have multiple objectives, you really don't want to be starting the raid out with looting and spending a lot of time staying in the location where you spawn, because especially on Woods, if you spawn in the village.
It's a guy with the 2 guns. Right here, right on me. I'm behind you, right behind you. I thought that was us.
Oh, I got him. Unless you have people actually watching over your back, people always gonna head over to village for certain quests and for even PvP. So what will end up happening if you get caught in looting and not paying attention to your surroundings, your focus will be really split between your teammates, making a lot of noise around you, searching and all that, on top of AI spawning in and giving away your position to other players. So when you have objectives, focus on the objectives and get stuff done. And when you need loot, you can probably focus on looting more towards the end of the raid rather than the beginning of the raid. You can still do that in the beginning, but it will involve a lot more risk.
Get back to the dishes, bitch.
Therefore, I really suggest focusing on the quest and objectives done, especially when you're on a squad, because you have a lot of firing power and you have a better chance of surviving. Moving as a team, it's important to not lose track of each other and positions. Not necessarily have to focus on an actual formation, but if you have a team leader, make sure you guys always keep the team leader either in the middle or in the forefront of the team, so you never lose track of that person and you can keep moving in the direction that you need. So one important step here, or one important crucial step here, is directions. When you are playing on any maps, but especially on Woods, it can be very, very difficult to track your direction, and it will obviously come with time and practice. But one thing that can help you if you guys are struggling, since the 12.1230 update, we have these 3 special slots for special items that you can equip your compass, you can equip jammers, markers, and Wi-Fi cameras, any special items in those slots. So make sure you use them. A rangefinder can be put there too. to, and then you can use your hotkeys to equip them, and it's really easy to read the directions off of the compass if you know what you're doing. Calling out shots, calling out weapons, this will all take time, obviously practice, to be able to tell which guns you're hearing. Guns will sound very different from close up to mid and long ranges, so it's gonna take a lot of practice to be able to tell what gun is shooting, but direction is very easy to tell as far as you're not indoor and you're talking about guns on or rifles or pistols shooting. When you see movement, you want to make sure you can call out the number of movements you see. That way you can already determine how many people and hostiles are on the enemy team that you're about to engage. This was a crucial moment here. I believe what happened is I actually forgot to reload my bolt action rifle after repacking.
Firefights break out, I always try to make
I
sure
see a
they
player.
stay alive.
Oh fuck!
If I see a
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
He spotted us! Woo! There was no ammo in the chamber. My friend was actually aiming down on sight on this other player. Meanwhile, I just ran back to him, blocking his shot. Therefore, he wasn't able to take the shot, and then he got shot by the other player. Make sure you always reload your weapon. Even if it's just one bullet missing, you might need that one bullet. When it's safe to reload, you always want to reload your weapon. And then when you have time to repack that magazine that you just reloaded out, it's gonna be probably the hardest thing to predict for players where they are on the map, especially when you just came out of a large engagement, you started looting, you're kind of getting into the end phase of your raid, getting ready for extraction. It will be really hard to judge people and how they are moving.
where we were sitting.
I'm trying to find that spot right now.
This one's some rocks overlooking.
Next to a tree.
Boom. Roasted.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, it wasn't next to a tree this time.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Give me a second. Let me figure this shit out.
Just be careful because these lava done pushed up to my body.
I don't think so. He knows there was two of us.
I think those rocks that you just looked at was the ones we was on. Yeah, up in that little like watch right there.
He dead?
He looks dead to me.
I hope that's counting for the Tarkov shooter that I'm actually trying to do here.
I think it's a little close.
About to say, I think he was a little too close. for that
No,
one.
it counted. 1 kill, 45 meters. Yeah.
He was probably
SKS?
thinking,
SVDS.
no, that's not me. So he killed. another
Ooh,
one.
that's a sexy rifle, bro.
Damn,
Level
now
40. Short, out, comes. Oh, fuck! So after you get shot like this in the head, at the time I didn't know if it was a player or a player scab. Obviously, it will give you concuss. It's not a good idea. Fuck, I'm the god of fucking flank, bro. So repositioning and flanking is again one of your best bet. Pre-matting with painkiller will allow you to keep running if your legs will get shot. It's a great tactic to use, but you have to make sure you have enough energy or hydration level. Flanking and repositioning will be always your best bet, especially in woods and any other larger maps as shoreline. It's probably a great example. Interchange. Taking consumables to make room is a very good way of actually taking that value that instead of dropping things, you can basically reevaluate into your looting experience as well as your energy recovery. Sure.
You better make that this one right. They're disgusting on how they're gonna kill
It's like the
fucking Khan.
it's like a communist party right there.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you heard about this guy named Bolt? He's fucking running around here somewhere.
I think I see one. No,
they said,
that's
hey,
the garbage.
you heard about this
Listen
guy
to them.
named-
They're laughing and drinking beer.
Nah, they're talking about this guy who has fucking -5 scab. They're just
About
like,
to get
okay,
deployed.
how
Offense, a toxic vibration is so rude and always negative.
He shows up as a scab, you kill him.
You guys are
Oh
funny.
my god. Let the bosses kill the PMCs and then go take their shit.
Enemy spotted.
Oh, you see me.
Dude, if you die, I'm never letting you live this down.
Why can I not fucking aim there? What the?
Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah!
In this example, I want to actually talk about meds and what you need to use. When you take multiple shot wounds and you have bleedings, light and heavy bleedings, you probably won't be able to deal with those bleedings while you're getting shot at, and you are very limited in cover. So the number one fairly expensive stim that I would recommend using is the Zagustin, as it will stop any number of bleedings that you may experience. So it will have some negative effects on your metabolism and your decreased hydration recovery. It will also cause tremor, but basically what it will do is it will also stop and prevent any future bleedings for up to 200 seconds. So if you get wounded and you have, for example, in this raid, we deal with multiple light and a heavy bleed at the same time. We've just taken the Zagustin. Very important to remember when you're about to use this is not to focus on the negative effects, but focus on why you're taking it. So you probably don't want to be taking this when you have a simple light bleed, or maybe even just 2 simple light bleeds. If you're under fire especially, so if you know that you don't have time to heal and you are talking about 3-4 bleedings at the same time, that's when you want to apply this. So Zagustin is not a painkiller, so a must. If you don't have money for Zagustin, it's understandable. I highly recommend it, but a must is a Propital. Right now. Done.
Perfect timing.
Propital is one of the only painkiller in the game that doesn't have any negative effects, and it also, on top of being a painkiller, it also heals your character. Let's take a look at the stats of Propital. So Propital is a regenerative stimulant injector. All positive effects, the only negative effects is actually going to give you tunnel vision at the last 30 seconds, and the duration is, I believe, 245 seconds. This will obviously remove pain and concussion as well. It will increase your metabolism with +20, your health +20, your vitality +20, and will increase your health generation by 1 HP every single second. So besides the tunnel effect and the tremor, it doesn't have any negative effects as a debuff. Highly recommended. And with the very small gap between Propital and morphine, it shouldn't be a question what to buy if you're spending money on painkillers. Obviously, after an engagement, especially when you know for sure that there's still enemies alive, you want to be focusing on repositioning. Obviously, if you need to heal, you need to focus on healing, and wait for audio cues, wait for visual cues. If you need to do surgeries, make sure you start recovering or I prefer doing surgery on my legs over my arms, but it is situational. Most of the time, if you're not in an indoor map, you're gonna have to be moving a lot. If your legs are blacked out, it should be a priority to get your legs back on before your arms. One crucial thing, when you are doing surgery, make sure you don't do any other action, because it will cancel out the animation, therefore it won't actually revive your blacked out limb. Propital will heal you after a surgery as well, so if you know you have enough time and you're not an immediate threat, you don't necessarily have to use up all your first aid kits to heal those limbs if you're already on the effect of Propital for healing. So make sure you use that to your advantage, and after the Propital effect is gone and you are suffering the debuffs of the tunnel effect and the tremor, then you can use your first aid kits to heal up the remaining damage that wasn't covered by Propital. A big thing is obviously insurance on the squad. When you have down teammates, a lot of people don't care about loot, but most people will obviously do care about loot. So it is a well-known practice in Tarkov to take care of your teammates' loot and insurance fraud their gear. So make sure you do diligence before you do that. Make sure you actually took out everyone from the enemy team. The great rule of thumb is there's always one more. You can have up to 5 people on an enemy team. So until you kill 5 people, knowing that you're fighting a full team, you should always ask if there's one more. And even after that, if you kill a 5-man team, there could be another team rolling in. There could be player scavs rolling in, and therefore you should never let your guard down. Using a combination of key binds, you can actually bind to be able to toss anything with either a press of a button or a combination of a press of 2 buttons. Use control right click to toss and delete items. I find it very helpful when I take care of loot, when I need to drop things. Makes it very easy to be able to spend the least amount of time I need. Insurance on your own gear will always have the yellow icons around it, but your friend's insured gear won't actually tell you that it's insured under somebody else's policy. So you would also always have to communicate with your teammate of what is insured and what is not insured. Meds, ammunition, every found and raid loot would not return to your character as under insurance. Only armor, backpacks, weapons. There are certain items that you can actually insure that are considered loot, but most of the time these won't be taken into raid other than specific quests. If you killed multiple players, the best way to share loot is really offering anything that you're not taking. Make sure your teammates can take stuff that you won't be taking. Communicate that, let them know that it's free to loot one of your kills. Obviously this is something you have to work out with your teammates. There will be a lot of greed, as we know. We all love loot and we all want a lot of it, so do your best diligence of what you want to be sharing with other people, but be kind. Obviously, overall, when you're looting, the most important thing will be the highest amount of money you can make per slot. So unless you're picking up certain items that has to be found in raid for quests or trading on the flea market, you would be focusing on just value, pure value. This is something you won't be able to do on your first raid, not even in your second, not even in your 10th or 50th. It will take you possibly hundreds of raids to really memorize the value of each items in Tarkov. There's way too many things in this game, and even up to this day, I do search things up and take a look at values. Make sure you use those sources. I'll put them down to the description below if you guys are not aware of certain websites where you can check values, you can check items out. But I think everybody's pretty much well aware of Wikipedia and all the other sources for flea market values. And if you guys like to see these type of videos in the future, and what else would be interested as far as content and what you guys can learn from, thank you for tuning into the live streams as well. If you guys been part of the live streams and checking out the channel there, very much appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in the next video as well. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like the video if you guys enjoy the content, and I will catch you guys in the next one. If you guys watched the video until the end here, please let me know in the comment section if this was helpful in any way. I want to say thank you for doing that.